Kobe. Kobe. Hey. Dun, dun. Some fly with me. Let's fly. Let's fly. Oh. All right. We good? Mics are going up right about now. Studio. Good morning, Lagos, and welcome inside the locker room right here on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And with Folu.
And joining us this morning, we have Biola Omowanle. Good morning, Biola.
Good morning, Folu. Good morning, Valentine.
Good
Always good to
morning.
be here.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Please find her up on Twitter. She is at Biorlicious.
Yep.
Absolutely delicious name there, as well as her personality. And we're about to delve into
blushing
this
right
morning.
now.
She's good. Have that nice blush. She's great. It's excellent. It's good for your skin. It
yeah.
radiates. And we're about to delve into this morning's sports stories. And to join us in our conversation this morning, do that on the various platforms.
Yes, you can send us a message through WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number is 0809 481. You can also send it through Twitter at Smooth91FM. The hashtag is LockerRoom981. And also on YouTube, where we're streaming live, you see our wonderful faces through it. Type in the search box. You'll find us, and please subscribe.
Yes, very straightforward. Speaking of straightforward things, was a straightforward win for a couple of the girls yesterday. Rivers Angels Women's Football Club of Port Harcourt on Tuesday in Yenagoa won the 2018 Women's Aiteo Cup competition by beating the Bomb Angels of Uyo 1-0. So Juliet Sunday's 48th minute goal gave Rivers Angels the victory. Hallelujah. So Rivers Angels went home with 10 million naira in cash prize, while the Bomb Angels got 5 million naira as the runners-up. And in the men's final today, the Enugu Rangers will take on Kano Pillars at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba, Delta State.
Okay, I think it's time we say Rivers Angels probably own the Federation's Cup, own the cup in Nigeria. This is a third consecutive win, have won it 8 times,
Nice.
and they have never gotten to a final of a cup before and lost. So
What?
I
That's
think
a
that
record.
says everything. It is a record. Rivers Angels probably own Nigerian women's football from the cup to the NWFL itself. The league hasn't rounded up, but they will most likely win again. Rivers Angels have been dominating Nigerian football for a very, very, very long time. Yes, you begin to ask, what's happening to the other ladies? What's up with Sunshine Queens? What's up with Confluence Queens? What's up with FC Robo here in Lagos? It will be really good to see the other women's team do better, really. But congratulations to Rivers Angels. Very, very deserved. That money will go a very,
Long
long way
way.
in that club. We know. We know.
Very nice. Thank you very much for that, Biola.
Moving on now, we'll go to talk about Lebron and how he responds to critics after enduring a wild first week with the Los Angeles Lakers that featured a multiplayer brawl, several close calls, and ultimately LeBron James's first 0-3 start since the second year in the league. Now, the star forward said he's not fazed one bit by what has unfolded so far. In his words, James said, "It's not tough." He said this after his potential game-winning step-back three was off the mark in LA's 143 to 142 overtime loss to the San Antonio Spurs on Monday. He continues to say, "I know what I got myself into. It's a process. I get it, and it will be fine. So I do not come here thinking we're going to be blazing storms right out of the gate. It's a process. I understand that." On the one hand, the Lakers probably wouldn't have overcome an early 18-point deficit to the Spurs if James hadn't pumped in 32 points, 14 assists, and 8 rebounds on the night of the game, including a tying 28-foot three-pointer from the top of the key with 3.3 seconds left in regulation.
Okay, I think LeBron James might be saying it's not tough. There is no pressure, but there is pressure. I mean, only 4 teams are winless so far in the league, and LA Lakers are one of them. It is really weird to start your season 0-3. It is, especially considering it's LeBron James. And the funniest thing is
not a
LeBron
nice start.
James is having a good season so far, scoring many points, but then LA Lakers not doing enough to win. And of course, what matters most is winning and not how many points a particular player scores.
But do you think that's it will be frustrating for him because he's used to sort of carrying the whole team? He's used to dragging teams,
Yes, it
kicking and
is.
screaming by himself.
He was doing the same thing at Cleveland Cavaliers, and he
Yep.
comes here and is doing the
same
same
thing.
thing.
It's like, can't he catch a break?
Why didn't I even stay where I was? Really, that's the question. But then he's been criticized a whole lot by fans, and I've been seeing on Twitter being compared to Kobe Bryant all over again, and
They're saying he's
I have to
selfish.
roll my eyes. Is this really happening
Chai.
again? But
A
LA
prophet is
Lakers
never
need to
valued in
get
his own
their
home.
act together. They're having a whole lot of defensive issues, also having discipline issues, and most of the pressure is going on LeBron, unfortunately. And people really need to realize this is one player, just one man. He's Aiden. We know how he has been dominating the world of basketball, arguably the biggest athlete in the world as we speak. I think he needs to get a little bit of pressure off him. So hopefully they bounce back in their 4th game of the season.
Bounce back.
Hopeful,
Keyword.
because we're hopeful.
Yes, we are.
For today.
Okay, let's keep it moving. Talk tennis now. So defending champion Caroline Wozniacki beat Petra Kvitova for the first time in 4 years with a 7-5, then 3-6, then 6-2 victory at the WTA Finals in Singapore. Denmark's Wozniacki sealed the win in 2 hours and 19 minutes, grueling time, despite needing medical treatment on her knee during the second set. Her last win over the Czech 4th seed came at the 2014 WTA Finals. So she really meant this one. She was ready to die on the line.
Ready.
Elina Svitolina later defeated Karolina Pliskova 6-3, 2-6, and 6-3. And the Ukrainian 6th seed hit 8 aces and needed 1 hour and 54 minutes to secure the win over her Czech opponent, putting her top of the white group standings with one round-robin match to come on Thursday.
Yes, Caroline Wozniacki desperately needed that win, considering the fact that she lost her first round robin game surprisingly to Karina Pliskova, and then this was a must-win game, knowing some people have to qualify to the semi-final because the white group is very, very open as it is. Elina Svitolina is the only player who has won 2 games, and that is very surprising. She has been the surprise package of the WTA Finals so far. She was one of the last few to qualify. She was termed one of the underdogs as well, but then she has been blazing, winning very, very incredibly as well. And as it is, like I said, the white group is very open. All 4 players can still qualify. But of course, Petra Kvitova has the least chance because she has lost 2 of her games already, and she needs to win against Karina Pliskova in straight sets, which will be very, very difficult. But it's good to see Elina Svitolina proving the critics wrong and blazing right there. Today, the red group will continue. Angelique Kerber will be facing Naomi Osaka, my baby. And everybody's baby, actually.
Yes.
And
I
Sloan
know.
Stevens will be facing Kiki Bertens as well. So we'll see that.
Sorry, it's a very, very sing-song morning.
Yeah, it is. Cristiano Ronaldo is not sing-songy right now. He marked his return to Old Trafford with a win at the Juventus side, outclassed Manchester United to move 5 points clear at the top of the Champions League Group H. Now, the former United star helped set up Juve's winner in the 17th minute with his cross reaching Paulo Dybala, who finished from close range. The Italian champions had several chances to extend their lead during the first half, where they were completely dominant, managing 10 shots to United's 1 and enjoying 70% of possession. Now, United improved after the break, but only had one serious effort at goal when Paul Pogba let fly off from the edge of the area, but saw his shot rebound off the post.
Very, very,
Tough
very,
game.
very dominating start, dominating first half for Juventus. And of course, like you just said, Manchester United had a very, very better second half. But
Yeah.
Manchester United need to realize they can't keep having better second
Or
halves.
first half. They need to take it through to the end.
In their last two games in the EPL against Newcastle over the weekend as well, they had better second halves against Chelsea
Chelsea, the same
also,
thing.
and somehow they managed to win against Newcastle, managed to draw against Chelsea. They could not do the same
And then their
against
coach was not
Juventus.
flaring up at the end.
Thank God, not this time. He couldn't even flare up. He was tired. So he walked from traffic into the stadium.
Wow.
So that alone could have calmed them down. So I think Man United were really, really poor in the first half. I mean, how can Juventus come to Old Trafford and have 70% of possession? 70% of possession from the away side is very,
That's also
very
awkward.
disappointing.
Awkward.
Manchester United really need to get their act together. It does not get easier in this group at all. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo was home again, home in quotes, but they didn't score. But Juventus got the job done, and that's really what matters.
All right.
Job
Thank you
done.
very much for that, Biola. And Lagos, the rest of the world, please send in your comments, not just on our live stream on youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos, but also by tweeting at us. Just use that hashtag lockerroom981 and by sending us WhatsApp messages to 0809 444 0981. We're going to take a quick break. When we're done, we'll be back with more sports stories here inside the locker room.
IBK, and you're tuned into Smooth 98.
Manchester, I think it can just come and win second half.
Hey.
They're, not,
They're not
they're having a
ready.
tough time at the moment.
They're not
It's a
ready.
tough time for them.
There are apps for everything
Very
these days. There's one that measures how far you can throw your phone, one that claims to burn belly fat using phone vibrations, and one that allows you to pop virtual pimples if you're into that sort of thing.
Okay.
But I'm not here to talk about those apps. I'm here to talk about a platform that does everything your bank does and more. It helps you send money to your loved ones and make cardless withdrawals so you're never stranded. You can even use it to pay for your favorite movies, events, and also limit your spending so you never run out of money.
Introducing the new Sterling One Pay, your personal mobile and internet banking solution from Sterling Bank. With Sterling One Pay, you can schedule your payments, choose things that reflect you, and even hide your balance with the panic pin. It's the platform that's got your back. Download Sterling One Pay from the Google or Apple App Stores today.
Mom, when is it bad luck to see a black cat?
I'm not sure, darling.
When you are a mouse.
Whoa!
Where do tough chickens come from?
From...
Hard-boiled eggs, mommy.
That's my boy!
Did you know that 90% of brain growth occurs in the first 5 years of a child's life? Pick 456 Growing Up Milk, especially formulated with DHA for children 4 to 6 years old to help them grow up strong and smart.
Calling all runners, fit fam and fun lovers. It's another ARN Pensions Run for the Future. The date is Saturday the 24th of November 2018 and it's happening at number 1 Medway Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. There'll be tons of freebies and loads of fun for everyone. Register for free at
Dybala got the goal, Cancelo was the thrust, but Nanaman was then tackled the heartbeats.
Supported by Samsung and Nescafe. ARN Pensions. Tomorrow
Interesting.
is looking good.
Okay, right on. He always likes to waxing lyrical. Yeah. That's the clearly has a poetic soul. He believes in his comments.
Wow, we got time.
I live for a moment like this.
I was singing so much this morning.
I'm wondering why.
Man is full of everything.
No wonder.
Oh wow, Twitter data server.
conditioner is energy saving and cost effective with a 10-year warranty on its compressor. Switch to its Gen mode function for small generator capacity to enjoy a constant cooling experience. LG. Life's good.
Yay! It's Jumia's Black Friday. Every Friday from November 2nd to November 30th. Get the best deals on all categories, including electronics, fashion, and mobile phones at up to 80% discount. Download the app to access over 4 million deals, 500,000 free vouchers, 99% of treasure hunts, 100 flash sales, and extra deals on Fridays.
Right.
With prices like these, now sales they rush you. T's and C's apply. Save money, shop easy.
Okay, we're back.
With HP, Intel, Samsung, and Benetton.
Studio. Yes, it does, and it feels especially good when you join us in commenting on the latest sports stories right here inside the locker room with Valentine
And Folu.
and Biola.
Yep.
Now, let's go over to talk some more about Manchester, but not the United that are not winning, the City that are, okay? So Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola says that his side played the best football of his time in charge as they swept aside Shakhtar Donetsk to the top to go to the top of Champions League Group F. So the English champions dominated from start to finish. Again, the way United should have done. With captain David Silva and defender Aymeric Lamport scoring in the first half before substitute Bernardo Silva sealed the points in Ukraine. Now Guardiola, who was appointed in 2016, described the performance as outstanding and incredible as Shakhtar were beaten at home by an English side in Europe for the first time. He went on to say, our first half was the best we have played in the last 3 seasons since I've been here. We were outstanding. We created a lot of chances. Clearly a very, very proud coach here.
Yep.
I'm just very excited about what they accomplished.
Meanwhile, Manchester United fans are coming for you.
Jive.
Believe me, they are coming
Listen,
for
I'm
you.
just commenting because it's all Manchester, you know, and
Yeah.
they're always debating who's the, you know,
Who's the
who's
man in the
Manchester
house?
Blue already.
who that is Manchester
But they've
Blue
been
or
coming
red.
at you about Arsenal, so I mean,
It's okay. I'm
they
just,
should take it.
you know.
But she's
just-
an Arsenal supporter.
I know.
Yeah.
I wish I keep getting tagged in all sorts of things.
Anyway, really good win for Manchester City. They had about 24 shots in total, and that must have been depressing. Really depressing for Shakhtar. But really good win, like Guardiola said. They had De Bruyne back last night, and that was a huge boost. It was almost like he never left, almost like he hadn't been injured. And yes, of course, you know, Manchester City have been blazing, of course, still unbeaten in the league so far this season. And with Kevin De Bruyne returning, that is a really good boost. We keep talking about how big, how the squad depth Manchester City is, and with De Bruyne returning again, I do not see them getting beaten anytime soon, especially in the EPL. So yeah, they had a really slow start to the Champions League season, but they are back and they're on top again.
So Real Madrid beats Group G rivals Victoria Plezen. How do you pronounce this? Pleasant. Thank you very much. But it was another unconvincing display by the European champions, whose coach Jolan Lopetegui said. Now the Spanish giants came into the now Jolan Lopetegui actually reportedly faces losing his job at this point. But the Spanish giants came into the game on the back of 4 defeats in 5 games in all competitions. Karim Benzema's header gave 11 goal in the Champions League. Marcelo dinked home a second before Patrick Hovzorski drove down in for Pleasant. Asked afterwards, after the match, whether he would be in charge for the weekend's El Clasico at Barcelona. The question is not for me. We're thinking about preparing for Sunday's game, which is very important, and we'll go with great ambition. I think he's apprehensive that he might lose his job.
Of course, I think that's what any coach would have said. Yes, we're focusing on the El Clasico, focusing on the next game now. Yeah, diplomatic, of course, but that's what any coach would have said. But really, unconvincing win, but it was a win anyway. They will definitely take it after losing 3 games back to back. It's been hell, really, for Real Madrid lately. Are they missing Cristiano Ronaldo? Is Lopetegui at fault? Are they having injury issues? A combination of problems really for Real Madrid. But going into the El Clasico, he might be sacked. Lopetegi might be sacked in the next coming days before the El Clasico, but that might also be a distraction, really. So you ask yourself, would it be good
it
or
worth
would it
it?
be bad? And it looks like any decision would be bad at this point, whether he was sacked or not. But like he said, they're looking forward to the El Clasico. They got a win yesterday, and that's what matters, whether it was convincing or not. 3 points in the bag.
All right.
I feel for him.
We've got quite a few messages. I'll start with Manchester's Red Rider. Remy says Lukaku's touch was heavy and his demeanour was aimless. United may not have had many options on the bench, but anything would have been better than watching Lukaku trying and failing to do the simplest things a striker should be capable of.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Lamentations.
Sorry now. Don't be angry. Well, we have Mr. Alaba who sends in a questionable comment. I'm going to read it out, but know that my eyebrows raised it. Slight judgment. He says, Rivers Angels sounds more like marine spirits. No wonder they're winning. No.
I am coming for you, bro.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
Yeah. Be careful your utterances.
There's no name to this one.
No name to this message. Number ending in 6435. Please send that with your name. While Big T says, Folu, tell them. If Arsenal mess up now, they are all on you. Now that the man has lost his chest, they want you to be silent? Never. They are the ones who got a judo coach to coach them. Says Big T.
I love what BT
Judo.
did. He added man, chest.
I see it. I see it. I see it.
Nice. Durotimi from Ogunlon Drive actually sent this one that says everything worked against Man U at Old Trafford in the first half of yesterday. 70% possession by Juventus. No joke. It was a classical show of oppression, but their fortunes shined better in the second half.
Yeah.
It wasn't against the law of Ronaldo to bring his teammates to terrorize his old club.
Yeah, sorry. It was such a
Look
tough,
at that face.
tough life up there. MI from Akoka, shout out to you, sends in this one saying De Gea probably has a premium savings account with a particular bank because he ensured that the old lady didn't run riots. Great game for Cristiano Ronaldo. I commend his professionalism despite the distractions. And Folu, you just had to go there with Manchester. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
No
we've got
regrets.
this one in from Jacob from Apapa.
Jacob says, I beg, which adjective will go take qualify Lukaku?
People, sorry now. More Lukaku attacks here. Caesar says Lukaku really needs the rest. The guy is firing blank. Wow.
Is it rest he needs now? Rest.
Lukaku rise the story.
Wow. Let's just
New
move
word.
on.
Wow.
Yes, I'm telling you. We move on now to this next story. Liverpool forward Sadio Mane could feature in his signed Champions League game with Red Star Belgrade a week after having surgery on a hand injury. So Mane, 26, missed Saturday's Premier League win at Huddersfield after damaging his hand while playing for Senegal. Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp said that Mane was in contention to feature, but Jordan Henderson and not play. Midfielder Henderson has a hamstring injury and will also miss Saturday's Premier League home game with Cardiff. Now, a quote from Klopp, who signed is second in Group C, says, Mane looked good in training the last few days, completely normal. And if nothing happens, he is in contention. I always wonder when they just want to get straight back on after having surgery on your hand.
Yeah, this would be a very, very quick return. They say it's likely. I wouldn't want to believe he'll feature in this game tonight, especially because you're playing against the underdogs of the group. But at the same time, Mane would be a huge boost knowing they lost their last game to Napoli, and PSG also have 3 points. It's a very, very tough group, to be honest. If they want to progress out of this group, this game is a must-win. Yes, we might say it's against the Red Star Belgrade, but the UEFA Champions League and football generally is full of surprises, really.
And that's the thing, being such a tough game, I feel there's going to be a fair amount of physicality. Does he really want to risk any sort of jostling of that hand or falling on it?
Definitely not. You definitely don't want to aggravate such an injury right after surgery. So I would hope Mane sits out for that one, but he would be a boost at the same time. But it's against Red Star Belgrade, so I think they can do without. They also have the advantage because Red Star Belgrade didn't have the advantage of selling tickets to their fans. They will not have fans at Anfield tonight, so no fans to cheer them on. I want to believe did I say Manchester United? You put Manchester United in my mouth for you.
Wow.
I would like to believe that Liverpool can get this done easily.
Okay.
Without money.
More messages in very quickly. Mr. George adds his name to the message finally. He says, great morning, guys. Please, what do you think Man United should do with that fat striker? 9 matches without a goal. Shameful Lukaku. He was marked off by a defender of over 30 years old. Wow, people are really upset.
How quickly tables turn.
Really
1 minute
upset.
they're praising the guy, the next minute.
Hey,
That's football for
you're
you.
only as good as your last game.
Oh yeah.
So WWE star Roman Reigns is giving up his Universal Championship title because he has leukemia. Now, the four-time world champion told fans on Monday he'd been diagnosed with the disease 11 years ago, but was in remission. But he says the leukemia has returned, which means he can no longer be that fighting champion. But he says, Roman, his real name, Joe Anwai, told fans that he wanted to make it clear that his announcement was not a retirement speech. He said, once he recovers from the leukemia, he'll be coming back home. And he says in a quote, when I do, it's not going to be just about titles or being on top. It is about the purpose. He added, I will beat this and I'll be back. So you'll see me very, very soon.
Yeah, it's really sad seeing athletes retire or semi-retire in this case, or take a break due to such illnesses, especially when they're still in great form, they're still young, and they're not, suspending play due to injuries, but some illness. I remember when Carl Ikeme, Nigeria's goalkeeper,
I was just gonna
had
talk about
to
him.
retire as well. He was still in very, very, very fine form. It's really sad to see. Like he said, I love that spirit too. I hope he can return, but it might take some time, and who knows how long it would take. Like he said, he's not going to retire, but at some point, I want to believe it might get there, depending on how serious this is, depending on how serious the chemotherapy and treatment generally will be. I wish him all the best, whether he returns or not. The most important thing here is staying healthy. So I wish him all the best. May he get well soon.
Yes, indeed. And for those of you who are wondering about Carly Kembe so far, because I know he has been out of the news and headlines, do note that, yes, he was diagnosed. He has gone through about 12 months of serious treatment. He has been told he's in complete remission.
Yes.
And so we're very grateful for that.
Yes.
Thankful for his life. He did miss the birth of his second daughter, which he's a bit sad about. But right now, when people ask him what's up, he goes, I'm unemployed, and smiles. And I mean, that's such a tough thing for an athlete at the prime of his life to have to deal with that. And it's one thing to, first of all, get over the illness and be in remission right now, which is a
one
blessing.
thing to get over doing
Your
without your
life.
favorite sport.
Yes.
This is your life. What are you going to do with your life now
Really?
going forward? So he does say he doesn't know what the future holds so far for him, but we are hopeful and we are optimistic. So please put Carly Keme in your thoughts and in your prayers. Okay, let's move on to our next story. Barcelona manager Ernesto Valverde says that his side needs to work together to get a result against Inter Milan without injured striker Lionel Messi. Yeah, Messi is missing. Remember, Messi broke his arm in Barcelona's La Liga victory over Sevilla on Saturday, and so he is out for several weeks. Valverde said, we'll have to work together to make sure Lionel Messi's absence shows as little as possible. We have the players to cover for him. The whole team will give it all they have. Now, Barcelona, who lost to Roma in last season's quarterfinals, have made a perfect start to their Champions League campaign, beating Tottenham and PSV to top Group B with 6. Will they make it?
They better make it. I mean, like Valverde said, they really do have to work together. Of course, no matter what, Messi will always be missed. Messi is missed whenever he is not around. And this injury is very, very heartbreaking. Also knowing that they have the El Clasico this weekend. But I would like to believe after he got injured on Sunday, the likes of Luis Suarez had a really good game and stepped up. So that must be motivation for them generally. So hopefully Luis Suarez turns up, Coutinho. Then Dembele did have a very good game after he came on for Messi against Sevilla over the weekend. But hopefully he can bounce back as well. I want to believe, I'd like to believe Barcelona will get the job done.
We would
they?
like to believe. Well, hopeful. Yes,
Fingers
we are.
crossed. Victor sent in this message on WhatsApp. Victor says, who will protect the shield now that Roman is away? They're beating the other two guys we'll see there.
Wow. Victor is here cracking jokes about Lukaku and DNA test about having
You
kids
guys
and
really
firing
mean
guys. I can't do
Lukaku
with
this
you.
morning.
Leave me alone. But Sly sent a message saying, I don't think that Roman Reigns will return back to wrestling. Edge retired because his doctor advised him to, or else he would be paralyzed if he had continued wrestling. So I don't think that Roman will return to the ring. Indeed. Ryder Remy's back in with this one saying the return of Mauro Icardi and Messi is not available. Let me see. Maybe this Barcelona team can cope with Messi. Inter Milan will give them a run for their money.
They're in fine form, really.
Yes. A real run for their money. And on that note, I do believe we're done actually with the sports stories this morning inside of the locker room. I have to say a massive thank you to Biola for joining us as always. Find her up on Twitter.
Yep.
She is at And Valentine and myself continue on for Lagos Talks 981, which is the final hour of Smooth Breakfast. We're opening up the phone lines, and you know we're going to be talking about the policy that the government are working on to limit the number of children that women have in Nigeria. Let us know your thoughts. We'll be back in just a bit.